We are making a pumpkin mac and cheese that is going to be such a fantastic addition to your fall repertoire, and it would be a really great dish to add on your Friendsgiving or your Thanksgiving table. And before you start running, because you know I don't love pumpkin and everything, you have to trust me when I tell you this is delicious. It doesn't taste weird. It adds a subtle sort of sweetness to the mac and cheese. It's so delicious. You will love it. I've got some butter in there. To it, I'm adding some shallots, finely diced shallots. I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic for flavor. You guys know I didn't grow up eating pumpkin in a sweet way. When I was growing up, there was no such thing as pumpkin pie in Italy. There was no such thing as Thanksgiving in Italy. So we actually eat pumpkin all year long, and we mainly eat it in savory ways. My nonna loves to pickle it and marinate it. I've been eating it in like it's a pasta dish basically. The recipe is in my new book, by the way. I've been eating it like that my entire life. So I'm used to pumpkin in a savory way. And this, I feel like, just adds a level of sort of depth and sweetness to an otherwise just plain mac and cheese. And I think it just gives a really nice, like I said, fall flair to a classic. Got boiling water. I'm gonna add my pasta. I'm using medium-sized shells. I like the texture, but you can really use any that you like. Add that right in. This is deeply cheesy and it's wonderful and delicious. I've got my oven preheated to 375 and everything is pretty much rocking and rolling. I got the pasta going. The shallots are almost there. I'm gonna grab some butter so that we can get the base going for the roux. Adding some flour. That's just gonna be the base to your bechamel, which is just like a cream sauce. You wanna make sure that you cook the flour out for a few seconds. You no longer want to see raw bits of flour anywhere. That's how you know you're ready to go. And now I'm going to just go ahead and add a mixture of whole milk and some heavy cream. I've got both in here. Add that in. I'm going to switch to a whisk. And I'm just going to cook this while whisking pretty much constantly until this mixture thickens. Sauce has thickened beautifully. I'm going to lower that all the way down. I'm using some dry sage only because I accidentally, and I'm so mad at myself, I accidentally threw away my brand new pack of sage. I was cleaning up after the grocery store, thought I put it in my veggie drawer, not there. So that tells me in the frenzy of moving all the bags, it somehow got discarded, and I'm very upset about it, but it's okay. To that, I'm going to go ahead and add my pumpkin puree. Now, I am using canned pumpkin puree. It's cheap, cheerful, and delicious. Very convenient. We love that. And B, it's something that you can keep on hand for a really long time. But you can also make this with like fresh pumpkin, roast it and puree it, a butternut squash, an acorn squash, whatever. Just roast it and then puree it. You can use any of those. I'm gonna go ahead and very generously salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna add the tiniest little bit of nutmeg, which I think is always needed in a cream sauce, but like I'm talking a tiny amount to highlight that bechamel, but we're not trying to turn this into, you know, pumpkin pie spice territory. I'm gonna use the spoon to taste my sauce. That is sensational. Needs a bit more salt. That tastes so good. I could honestly just add my cheeses and like leave it as is. Turning the heat off, I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my cheeses in. I've got a combination of Parm, shredded mozz, the low moisture kind, white cheddar, and Gruyere, okay? Please make sure you are shredding your own cheeses. Otherwise, you are gonna end up with a split sauce. I'm gonna use about half of these. Okay, whisk it in. Look at that cheese sauce. I also drained my pasta. I like to put a little bit of the cheese sauce on the bottom. I like my mac and cheese very cheesy, okay? And I don't like it dry. So if it looks a little heavy with sauce, well, I don't know what to tell you, because that must mean that you like a dry mac. Guess who doesn't like a dry mac and cheese? Me. Drain my pasta. Add the rest of the cheese sauce in. It is sensational. You're gonna have to trust me. It is so good. Look at that. It would be delicious like this as like a stovetop mac and cheese. You know it would be. But even more delicious this way. I'm gonna put half of it down. Okay. Spread that around. And the pasta is a little bit shy of even al dente because I want it to be perfectly cooked when you go to eat it. Add that on top like that. The rest of your pasta and your sauce. That is gorgeous. Now you could do one of two things. You could even do a little more cheese on top, which I know it sounds crazy, but it would be delicious, and put it in the oven. I like a little bit of texture. I'm a texture person. So I'm gonna take some breadcrumbs and a couple tablespoons of olive oil. You could use melted butter, whatever your heart desires. I like to mix that together. You don't have to. Like I said, you could use melted butter if you wanted to, but this just gives you such nice texture. Gorgeous. This is gonna go in a hot oven for like 15-20 minutes. It's just for the top to brown and get crispy and for that center section of cheese to melt. Then you wait. You wait and see. Look at that. Look at that bubble action. Okay, let's see. Look at that. You should probably not serve this piping hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You should definitely not. But then you wouldn't see this. Okay? You wouldn't see that. Because you know how it is. I like to think I'm like your cooking fairy, right? I bring you the goods. I can make magic happen when a cream sauce cools down, it starts to seize, and it's no longer got that pull. Not that it's not absolutely delicious. This should definitely cool down before you eat it. But if I let it cool down, then you don't get the visual. And without the visual, you can't taste it. Because I know you can't actually taste it, but you kind of can with the right visual. You get what I'm saying? It's like that SMR thing. Like the right sound and the right visual makes you feel like you're there. You know what I'm saying? Your mac and cheese ain't cheesy and it ain't pulling. I don't want it. Hot. Obviously. You just gotta do it. The Gruyere is like nutty. The topping is crunchy, so it's giving you texture. The sage plays perfectly with the nutmeg, and the pumpkin just gives you a hint of fall, a hint of sweetness. You might not even know it's in there, but it will elevate your fall mac and cheese. Don't even tell people that it's in there. Watch them say, what is that? Why is it so good? Watch. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. Hope you enjoyed spending time with me. Now we'll see you in the next one. Bye.